that.
So this is where it all began. Back in the day.
No, Mick's not there. You had to wait for Mick. Not your man over there.
Yeah, you'll probably find 5 other people stopped on the way over.
Well, it's not Russian, thank God.
Stinging nettles and, scuffed knees and, I think she was afraid I got some sort of disease.
This was the first area I had to stone.
Yeah, not too far off here.
So, the church itself was 12th century. That goes right back as well, and dedicated to Saint Lawrence. As someone said over the years, there's been prominent people buried in it. And one of them was a guy named Beverly Newcomb. He was the son of Robert Newcomb, and he was drowned down the Waterford. They were surveying the harbour down there, drowned with his son, and they reckon he was buried here as well. And then his wife went on to marry one of the Barnwalls, and when she died, they reckon she was buried here as well. So there's been, but then someone came along in the it still was in good, still active until the 1800s. People came up here and could recognise the castle, but some people came up here back in the early 20th century. A guy named, in 1912, Weston St. John Joyce came up, and he said there was nothing here, really. He didn't find anything. He did comment on the wall, this curved wall, which was used to shelter the fruit trees. And as I say, I always wondered myself what it was about, the peculiar shape of the wall. And another guy, this Francis Eldrington Ball, he actually, he solved the problem about the wall and recognised it was used for protecting the fruit trees that were planted against the wall.